Y'all, I will forever apologize to you if there's a longer lapse than I would like to making these videos. You know, life gets busy, obviously, and all of you guys have your own lives. But I appreciate all those who watch. But today, I want to talk about, and there's reason for it, talking about making decisions and making our choices, right? So, effectively, they're all the same thing. But the reason that I want to talk about today is recently on ESPN MMA, they posted a picture of Alex Pereira, and it talks about how they quoted him talking about him being on his last pair of diapers for his children, his two boys, and how he didn't have the money for, anymore. Well, now we all know who he is. He is one of the best fighters in the world, currently light heavyweight champion in the UFC, and he's made millions, right? He's made a lot of money. But the thing with Alex is he came from a very, very humble beginning, obviously. From what I've read, he was poor, went through this whole thing, went through kickboxing, learned MMA, et cetera, and now he's on top of the world. And he's able to provide for his children, and he's just making everything that he can of his newfound fame and all the monies that he's making. And my response to that picture was, I said that there were some of the best people in the world come from some very humble past or some very troubled past, and that every single one of us come from, we're literally one decision away from greatness. And what I mean by that is, even though most of our lives are made up of very individual decisions, right? So there's a decision that you make on a daily basis that may not make a huge difference, but it does make a very minute difference. And as you kind of continue to make these decisions, every single one of them is an individual decision that culminates into, something large, right? And something that happens to your life, whether it's children, whether it's fame, whether it's, whatever it is, it all culminates. But you continue to make decisions, and it's these small decisions that takes one decision to make us great. Whether greatness is fame, whether greatness is being rich, whether greatness is whatever it is, it's one decision. And that's what I mean by, by we are all one decision away from greatness. And this is kind of one of those, like, these decisions that you make, you have to obviously live with, right? And I'll use myself for an example. The last 5 years, I've made a lot of decisions that I am so happy with the results, super proud of with the results. Perfect example. We went to Animal Kingdom, and I saw a gentleman who was with his family, and I thought I recognized him. And I was so entranced with this person that I was like, is this who I think it is? And I conversed with my wife, and she's like, I really think this is him. You should go talk to him. I was really this close to not speaking to the gentleman, and it came down to it. And I went up and I asked him, hey, are you Claudio, Castagnoli? And were you formerly Cesaro? He was like, yes. I got to meet him. I said, thank you so much. Would you mind taking a picture? He was super nice, so he allowed me to take a picture with him, and I was starstruck. But that experience was just so great because it would have been one decision where I would have never met him. And then that allowed me to continue to do stuff like doing meet and greets with AJ Raphael. I was able to meet him. And then that also went along to to make the decision to go watch Tori Kelly, and all of these things that have developed in my experience. And recently we went to WrestleCon, and I got to meet Tony Storm, I got to meet Mick Foley, and I got to meet the APA, Bradshaw Layfield, and Ron Simmons. And it's like, it's not that, meeting them was like, oh, hey, best experience in the world, but it was an amazing experience because it allows me to meet people that help to shape my life, right? I watched wrestling a ton, so meeting all the wrestlers was great. AJ Raphael played a huge role in my love for music, so being able to meet him and to meet his wife and kind of like, develop a relationship all through, being able to meet these stars. And it's not just the stars, it's the decision that I made to, you know keep certain people in my family, or to kick people out of my life. And it's all these culminating decisions that will eventually make whoever it is that I end up being. Now, at the current time, I believe I'm in a really good spot in my life. I could obviously do better, and it's just, I want you to truly think about all these decisions that you're making, and allow yourself to have some of these experiences that you may not have thought about before. You're like, hey, maybe the money's not enough, but you know make these decisions with a little bit of thought behind them, because you obviously don't want to put yourself in a situation where it's going to be impossible to get out, right? So don't take out a loan on something you don't need, or don't do something that it's going to obviously get you in trouble, or whatever the case is. But just consider and really, really, really remember that we are all just one decision away, and I mean one decision away from being the greatest version of ourselves that we could ever imagine. So hope you guys have a great day. Love you guys.